I feel like an idiot.
That's okay.
Welcome to our Thursday night live stream.
I'm Yoshi, and he's Bowser.
I'm Bowser.
And
Okay.
we are
Two
two crazy ketos.
Welcome back to the channel. Okay, can I take them off so I can read? I guess I have to wait.
Just a little bit. You could wear it.
Welcome to our Thursday live stream. If you are new here, our Thursday live streams are all about hanging out with our subscribers and answering questions about keto and carnivore. If you have a question, go ahead and type question and then whatever your question is. And then, or you can use the super chat function, which we really do appreciate. It helps really benefit the channel. But more importantly, it's going to highlight our screen and let us know that you have a question.
Are you guys ready for Halloween? That's my question. You know, this is a big one for a lot of people because Halloween is actually going to be on a Friday night.
I'm not a big fan of Halloween.
We're old people, years old, and so we do not have a Halloween party to attend.
Well, we also live in an area where I don't think anybody trick-or-treats here. I mean, we were here last year, but I mean, everybody's so far apart.
It is.
I don't think anybody trick-or-treats here.
It is very hard.
Maybe in the city, but we're rural. So, you know, we have like 8 neighbors within 2 blocks, you know.
If you are going to a Halloween party, let us know, what are you dressing up like this year?
I'm really excited about a video that's coming out tomorrow. It would have been great if we would have gotten it out before Halloween, but I just wasn't able to make the video and edit it and everything else. And I don't think anybody would have gotten it for Halloween, but it's going to be really, really, really good for Thanksgiving, Christmas, those kind of things, New Year's, that kind of stuff. So super excited. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit the bell button so that you're notified when the video comes out. It's going to be a 2-part. There's a video coming out tomorrow and then a recipe video, which the result of which got shared with your participants on Wednesday in the Meatheads group.
They know it's coming.
That's the paid part of Mighty Networks. So Mighty Networks is completely free, but then you can support us with a $5, $10, or $25 a month thing. And you get like Rachel coaching on Wednesday, but sometimes we'll put little extra snippets in there. And yeah, so super excited about that because I don't want to spill the beans. I got to take this off so I can see who's going on. It's bad enough I don't have my regular glasses. But I did want to give a couple announcements. Number one, if you were going on the 2KK birthday cruises in December, we are now coming up to the point where like we're almost 30 days away. If you have not yet gone and gotten your boarding times and stuff, make sure you go do that on the Royal Caribbean app or on the website.
Even if you're on both of them.
Even if you're on both, you have to at least check in, put in all your passport, all that stuff. I actually still have to put my passport stuff in, but I do have our boarding times. But also, if you did not get travel protection through the cruise line, you can't do that anymore, but we can still get you travel protection through Lyons. But after like 30 days prior, it becomes more difficult if for some reason you have to cancel at the last minute. So if you have to cancel and you try to buy insurance 15 days before, they're going to be like, no. So if you want to get travel protection for that cruise, which to me, the most important reason I have travel protection is for the medical aspect of it. Make sure you send me an email. A couple people, I actually sent them out everything today that had requested it, but that I wanted to tell you. Also, before we get into the comments, there was a message on Mighty Networks, and I thought it was a good message. I responded to her, but I thought this was good for everybody to hear. And this was a message from Darlene.
Hey, Darlene.
So Darlene had said, maybe I'm just seeing this and others know about it already. Am I wrong on this? It seems like there's something right. Something isn't right with the Equip protein powder UPC label and their nutrition label not matching. I use Chronometer ever since Joe did a tutorial years ago, and it works great for me and I find it accurate. Until today, when I noticed the Equip chocolate protein powder came up as 13 grams, even though the serving size should be 30 grams scoop size, the nutrition label says a serving is 27.5 with 2.6 carbs. If you change serving size to match a scoop of 30 grams, it is now 6 grams of carbs, which makes sense. Still not the 27.5 serving size. Why wouldn't it match the scoop provided? Not only that, I went back to in history, and Equip scoop was listed as 30 grams serving in with 1 carb. For those of us tracking and watching carbs closely, we need to be careful. I've written to Equip for clarification of a scoop size and UPC not matching. We'll see what they say. Sorry if this is a bit of a rant. Seems off. Thanks for listening. Okay. a couple of things, and one of them I just thought about. If Darlena's watching this, I didn't actually put this in the message, but a couple of things. Equip just recently changed their packaging, so it could be the UPC label isn't matching. I would go by what's on the bag, and then you could always rescan it and upload it, and then Chronometer will kind of verify everything. The other thing is when I just noticed when you've got, like, it went from 2.6 carbs to now 6 grams of carbs. Check your bag. Make sure you don't have the new version. So there's 2 versions of Equip. One is with stevia. One is without stevia. I think they label it as stevia free, and they're using coconut sugar. And if I remember right, the coconut sugar has about 6 carbs, which is why that just kind of hit me. So that is something to check. Also, every flavor has a different serving size. But the other thing I wanted to mention with the scoop is a guesstimate. Right. If you really want to know the proper amount for any protein powder, anything that comes with a scoop,
you got to weigh it.
You should weigh it out. Now, I'm lazy. I'm never, ever, ever going to weigh out something that comes with a scoop. I'm using a scoop. I use tablespoons. I use cup measures, unless it's a very specific, finicky recipe video, because recipes are all about chemistry when it comes to baking. I'm just using a scoop. But the same thing applies to Keto Chow. So if you buy Keto Chow in a bulk bag, which I do not have here, the bulk bag comes with a scoop. You could lightly pack that scoop, or you could heavy pack that scoop. Okay. So the serving size is printed on the bag is not based on a scoop. It's always based on weight.
Right.
So like with Keto Chow or Equip, go by the weight if you want to be super accurate. Okay. If you want to be super accurate, you're going to have to weigh it out. I'm lazy.
Robin's got a great question there. How far in advance should you renew an annual policy through that company? I bought one last year before the 2KK cruise, so mine expires about halfway through the cruise.
So I would renew it. I would renew it. So I'd have to look up your plan, Robin, but it would basically go by whatever date we went on it. So for example, I just purchased one for somebody a few weeks ago. We bought it on October 13th, but we listed the first cruise, or the first day she was going to travel, for December 3rd. So the policy is active from December 3rd to next December 3rd. But back to the scoop thing. Yeah, you could heavy pack a scoop.
Sure.
And therefore it would be more than the serving, or you could light pack it. So the scoop is just a guesstimate. So if it's really important to you, you've got to weigh it out. And like I said, it's the same thing with Keto Chow. Now with Keto Chow, they also have individual servings. The individual servings are on weight. That's why you don't have to worry. So whenever we say a serving, like if we're using a bulk bag, it would be either an individual packet if we say a serving in a recipe, or whatever the serving is on a bulk bag.
Right.
Okay. I don't have my glasses, so I'm going to do the best that I can read these. Okay.
I can help.
You can help?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did Healthy Mama say?
So she says, I love Halloween. I enjoyed making my kids and then grandkids costumes. My daughter has her Snow White costume that I made, and now each of her daughters have worn it. How precious is that? Awesome. There really is something so fun about a homemade costume. I can remember we
only had homemade costumes when I was a kid.
My dad one time, and it was nowhere near October, brought me home from like a business trip. He had gone to, I believe it was Georgia, and he brought me home a clown costume. So, I mean, imagine that it's like, okay, it's like March.
Weren't you afraid of clowns?
My brother is totally terrified of clowns. But he brought me home. That was my like souvenir. And so that was my Halloween costume for a lot of years. But I thought that was like a strange souvenir home. But I was just so glad my dad brought me something home. I was, tickled with it. But I remember, and this is funny now in terms of like how our life turned out. But one time we were in a bind, needed a Halloween costume, didn't have anything. My mom grabs a sheet out of the linen closet and just starts randomly drawing candy on it. And I was a bag of candy for Halloween.
Yeah, Jennifer said I had to get the insurance with the government shutdown lingering. Flights could still have delays. You never know. Let's hope we're long past that by then.
Done with that.
Okay, you answered Robin's question. Robin, like I said, I'll look at what you did last year. Sabrina said, had Mark watched the RV video? We never had any trouble with the black tank, but did like the recommendation of putting 8 to 10 gallons of water and only put a gallon per the liquefied instructions.
I was so thankful that we came in contact with that company. You know, sometimes it's just like if you go to a keto conference and you become aware of businesses that just never exist, like it was never on your radar that you would maybe even need this product. And so I've never been around like tank rangers, but we just knew like we need to call somebody. Like, is there somebody that provides the service? So we were just so glad.
Now you can sit over the toilet and go, it doesn't smell.
Okay, it's so weird, but I have done that thing because when it was like a mess, you're like, ew. And you're trying to see like
go inside, stop using the bathroom.
Right, like how quickly can we get out of here? And now I'm like, I feel pretty. It smells pretty. I'm loving it.
Chris said, turns out my liver and pancreas can't tell if sugar is from coconuts or from corn.
Right?
Yeah. Chris said, why doesn't Joe have a bulk bag of keto chow in his back pocket?
I don't know why. It'd probably be like super cushy and feel wonderful.
Okay.
I did want to share something. You had texted to me because I just want to, first of all, thank all the meatheads and all of you guys who have supported us so that we can travel. And sometimes people are like, why do you go to things that are just not like exclusively keto?
Why do you have more than one channel?
But we are trying to reach the world one ribeye at a time. And, you know, it's all about the one. It's about reaching that new person that has never maybe considered that they could change what they're eating. And, you know, if somebody gives keto a shot, and I think that that's why we are so like, I don't know, anti-dogma. We really just want people to start taking a look at their nutrition and just starting. They don't have to do things perfectly. We just want them to get started.
It's so hard to look at you with those glasses on.
Take me seriously. Seriously. We're talking about a very serious subject right now. But
she looks like Yoshi.
We had gotten a message today from somebody who had attended the liquefied rally. And I just wanted to share this with you because, hey, if you're a meathead, if you've supported, if you've ever used our links before, this victory is your victory.
This shirt makes me look like a giant toad.
You're super cute. You actually have a turtle shell on your back, just like Bowser. Okay, so this person,
not a turd, a toad.
A toad. This person reached out to us today and said, it was great meeting you both at the liquefied rally in New Braunfels. Talking to you and seeing the results of keto on both of you has inspired me to get back to being serious about weight loss. I have been 6'4" and 218 pounds most of my adult life, but at 45, the weight began piling on. I'm now at 293 pounds and I want to get back to 220 or less. Thank you both so much for your positive attitudes and conversation at the rally. So think about that, Joe. Think about that, you guys. It was worth driving to Texas.
1,360 miles. Each way.
It's worth it for the one person who, because you showed up, may be considering changing the way they eat.
It's funny because when we were getting ready to go to Texas, Rachel's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Like, why are we? And I'm like, I don't know.
This is going to be 4 days.
I don't know
driving.
Why we're going. I felt like God said we're supposed to go. So we went. There were actually several people that were in a similar situation. But that's what we go. If you don't know our history, we have an RV channel because when we got into camping, we realized right before that we were doing the same thing as when we were fat. We were sitting on a couch. That's all we were doing. That's why our motto is live life beyond a couch. And then when we got into camping, we started realizing that a lot of people who go camping and RVing do nothing but stay in their campsite and they don't leave. Yeah. It's like literally like, I want to go out in nature. So they leave their house, they get in an RV, which is nothing more than a rolling hotel room. Honestly, nicer than they park it and then they sit in there and they go, I'm in nature. And we were like, well, what if we can show them a way to be healthy so they can actually enjoy nature? And that's why we did this. And so there's a rhyme and reason for everything we do. I know most people don't ever understand it, including myself sometimes. But for example, we had the other day We read it on Monday on Keto Beyond the Couch. Somebody going, stop talking about cruises. And my thing was two. Number one, we're doing a group community cruise with 57 people.
We're definitely going to talk about cruising.
And so we need to talk about cruising. Number two, people like to go on vacation, go on cruises, but they're afraid if they're trying to lose weight. And I actually got a message from somebody yesterday on our Star of the Seas video, said, thank you. I'm getting ready to go on a cruise. This is not a person in our community. And I was so worried about how I was going to eat and sort of stay healthy. And your video has really showed me that it is going to be easy, that I can do it. That's why we do what we do.
To God be the glory. And just know, if these two crazies can be a blessing in somebody else's life, you can too. It's certainly not us, but it is the willingness to share. And you never know who is watching you, who is listening. And I know sometimes, our desire is to be a blessing and to see a life change that's really close to us, that's in like our, in our family and our like close-knit friend group. And you're thinking, man, I spent all of this time and energy trying to reach this family member. I wish they would come, to changing the way that they're eating. Just know you're changing somebody else's family member. And I think that we need to embrace that. Like we are all the human race, right? And so the desire is for us to be a blessing in this life. And I'm just so thankful, I'm just like you guys. I wish everybody in my family was keto, and they're not. But you know what? I know that there's somebody out there, it's their mother, it's their father, it's their brother, their sister, and their family members are really hoping that this person will make the change. Well, maybe I can't reach the person in my own family, but I can reach the person in somebody else's family, right?
Yeah. I saw Healthy Mama asked Chris if he's the one who gives out bacon. Yeah, he rolls his Blackstone out.
Brilliant.
And he gives out bacon.
Talk about a really nice way to meet your neighbors too, because Halloween is one of those like beautiful times where the neighborhood actually comes out. It's not like, I mean, most people don't live in like this 1950s experience neighborhood where it's like Pleasantville and every neighbor knows each other. A lot of times we can just put our heads down and you go into your house and out of your house, and there's not a lot of conversation with your neighbors, and certainly not like the block parties and stuff where, in the 70s and 80s, like we all knew everybody, you know? And so it's really nice that in Halloween, people will come out. So I think that's a great idea, whether it's bacon you're cooking, or like you could cook up hot dogs and say like, hey, for anybody that's coming by, get a hot dog.
Jennifer said, cool. I think if I give out ribeyes for Halloween, maybe people will show up.
Oh,
I could not afford to give out ribeyes, but I'll show up. I'll drive up to Indiana for that.
Absolutely.
Which helped me to remind me. I saw a comment on Facebook, not in our group, but it was in a group, talking about the price of meat going up and everything else. Part of the reason that beef prices are going up is because of a disease in some of the cattle in Mexico.
We get a lot of
and they worry about it.
From there.
We get beef from there, and they're actually worrying about it affecting ranchers. But here's what I'm going to recommend for those of you who eat a lot of beef. Try to find a local rancher.
Yeah.
Try to find a local farmer. Go to farmers markets and things like that, because they're not raising their prices. This is back like with the egg thing.
Right.
Unless it was just an unscrupulous local farmer. Most local farmers did not raise the price of their eggs. When eggs went to $10 a dozen in the grocery store, all the locals are still selling them for $4, $5, $6 a dozen.
Right.
You're going to find the same thing with beef because it's not affecting them. And this is a great way to support your local farmer, whether it be vegetables, fruits, or any kind of meat, eggs, things like that. Support your local farmer.
We actually, in our low carb cruise, presentation, you can go back. It was, I believe it was called like, is your way of eating sustainable? Check that out. We give you tons of tips for how you can begin that search for local providers.
Yeah. Terry said, I made pumpkin sausage soup for dinner yesterday.
Yum.
My hubby didn't think that he would like it, but he did.
Well, because
we had leftovers for dinner tonight.
It sounds odd. pumpkin sausage soup.
So good.
That sounds like something that you're like, okay, weird soup. But honestly, it is the most delicious soup and definitely a crowd pleaser. So I'm going to say, if you're going to be having like family coming into town, or you are trying to be the showstopper at a holiday potluck, I'm going to tell you, get that recipe and you need to make it and like just prepare yourself, because it is awesome.
Juliana said I had my bod pod scan today. The program director asked me to photocopy my meal plan and share it with her other clients.
Wow.
She was impressed with my whole food, nutrient dense meal plan.
So proud of you.
She said I've officially won her over.
Look at you, Juliana. Look at you. I mean, it's really tough to argue with results. Your doctor can yell at you like all day long, but then when you get that lab work back, and it's like you're looking great, you get a bod pod back and you're like, oh, I see, like muscle density, bone density, muscles, like things are happening. It's kind of hard to argue.
Dustin said we'll be giving out candy, but I do have a fire. If I was rich, I'd give out packets of keto chow. Yeah, I mean, that's what we always did. We always sat in the front yard. So Dustin, I did not see you on Monday on Keto Beyond the Couch. I wanted to say I'm sorry. So when we got to New Braunfels, we actually looked up. We Google mapped like
Dustin
where
Cade.
is Dustin Cade Drive? Is that Dustin Cade Drive or
Road? We were like,
and we're like, okay, tomorrow we're gonna go over there and we're gonna take a picture in front of the sign,
because we were hooked up to the RV at the time,
and we got so busy we forgot. And then
by
the time I realized it, we were hooked back up. And so we didn't get a picture in front of Dustin Cade Drive, but we did find it.
Yes, it is there.
And here's the good news. I'm going to tell you guys now, we will be going back there, probably not next year, but the like spring 2027 as looks like. And we're going to do
a rally,
like a rally keto, like a 2KK rally.
Yes.
Because there's lots of cool things to do there.
There's RVing. Now there are like 5 cabins there.
And there's also local hotels.
If you don't have an RV. And then there are like, yes, local hotels there, but we're going to have such a great time. It was a fantastic campground. I think that if you do RV, you're going to love it there.
And good barbecue too.
Great barbecue.
Donna said my adult son sits out in front of the house on Halloween and supplies TP for the kids to TP his house.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now that is next level. My father, it was one of his absolute favorite holidays, if not his favorite. I want to say Christmas was his favorite, but like Halloween was up there because he was a gift giver by nature. He just loved giving gifts. And he gave out Beanie Babies.
I remember that.
He liked giving out like big toys where the kids would be like, what? Like I have a legit present. Because in addition to us having a sports memorabilia store, we also sold toys and collectibles there.
And then you had your brother who would take our kids and have fun slipping into the teenagers. The little kids got candy before we were keto. Then we switched to other things after we went keto. But the teenagers, the older teenagers that would come up, be like, why are you trick-or-treating, right? He would slip things in there, like cans of Vienna sausage, the ketchup and mustard that you would get in a hotel, like the little tiny, like stuff that nobody wants.
Sardines. And so because he would just kind of
They would raid our pantry and find what is the worst thing.
And then the kids would get points based on like how big of a crazy score, because what you're trying to do is go unnoticed, like palm whatever it is, slip it into their bag, and them just kind of walk off without noticing that you have put a can of sardines in their bag.
It is trick or treat.
It is trick or treat.
Jennifer said I eat strictly while cruising and I still have to bring 3 sizes of clothes, but even that isn't permanent. No regrets.
Agreed. I mean, definitely travel impacts you. And I think that we just don't talk about that enough. People will go on a vacation and they will stick to their plan. They will eat as great as possible, as much as they can. And then they come home from this travel and maybe they've ridden in the car for like hours and hours like we did, or you've been on like a long plane ride or you've just been cruising. You change altitudes. Then they come home, the first thing they do, they don't even unpack their suitcase. They go and get on that scale so that they can be sad
right.
that there is inflammation not bad decisions, inflammation from the travel. And then it breaks my heart because they're like, I wish I would have never gone on this vacation because I'm up 10 pounds. And it's like, yo, give yourself some time to reacclimate. You were just traveling.
Barbara said, excited to go to Easton, Pennsylvania this weekend for 2 days of Bacon Fest.
Bacon
Like,
Fest.
why don't I know about that?
Why do they not have that in Arcadia, Florida? We need to establish that.
Christine said, our friends are ranchers in Texas. They've had to raise their price on beef. They hate it and might not sell anymore. We love to buy a half a cow from them twice a year because the beef is good. Yeah, like I said, it's one of the things we're looking into. I'm just trying to find a baby cow.
Yes.
But we do want to get a cow. Here's the thing, though. It's 2 years.
It is. I've got to tell you.
It takes 2 years.
We're having a big horse auction on, I guess it's Saturday.
Yeah.
And so
not us, but
not us, locally. And I had to look away because they had like 2 like year-old of those like Highland cows, like the really cutesy ones that you see paintings of in Hobby Lobby with like the flowers across the top of it. I was like, Rachel, you cannot go buy a Highland cow.
Dustin said, my batch of pumpkin sausage soup had 5 pounds of meat and didn't last a full 2 days.
Right?
I was big sad. I was looking forward to eating it for a few days, but the kids liked it.
It's just so delicious. And it's something that it's like, I hate to share, but like I want to share because they're going to make a good connection with it and enjoy it and be like, oh, okay, well, I guess keto doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Right? Because they had this great experience.
John said I can get ground beef locally for $3.29 a pound for $80.20 at a local butcher. That's awesome.
Get it, boy.
He said everything else is expensive. Risa said, my hubby loves heat, but not in soup, so I made it mild for everyone, and I added heat at the table. Yeah. And again, one way with jalapenos, make sure you don't put any seeds in it. Jalapenos can bring a bunch of flavor, but you don't necessarily have to have it like very spicy.
I am like really coming down off of being in Texas. I worked up my heat level recently. Now I feel like if it is not like fiery spicy, I am not enjoying it. I am putting hot sauce on freaking everything. But in Texas, there was that option that, you could add some heat, and I'm loving it.
I don't want it hot where my face is blowing off, but I want a little bit of, I like the flavor.
Pain.
I like this. It's not even pain. I just like flavor.
What does that say about me?
I saw Dustin said, I figured you guys were busy. Oh no, we had every intention and I forgot. He said we were on our way back home from Alabama to Indiana while you were heading to Texas. Like even again, last Thursday, we were planning on having a live stream. And we only knew of 1 or 2 people going to the meetup, where like an hour was more than enough.
And we had a big crowd. It was lovely.
And then we had a bunch of people. Jennifer's here.
Hey, Jennifer.
Jennifer's birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're a Halloween baby.
I was processing things.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jennifer. Happy birthday to you and many more.
I'm pretty sure it was Jennifer, but yes.
Well, if not, Jennifer, it's
Adele said made the sausage pumpkin soup from my book club.
Yum.
None left, and the recipe requested by the group. A big success.
I love hearing that. I just absolutely love hearing that.
Chris said employees brought their children and grandchildren to Keto Chow to trick or treat today. Nice. I forgot to bring anything. They got to pick stuff from the pile of 3D printed toys.
Oh, that is a great idea. You and Matt. Matt would be a great person to hand out like 3D stuff. That's a good idea.
Dustin said, did we stop at the I-10 Buc-ee's in Alabama? I think you did. That was like 45 minutes from. We stop at Buc-ee's?
Chandra had to go to a really cool Goodwill.
I need to take out a loan. Like I'm broke. Because we what did we stop at? There and back, 13.
I think we only missed like 2.
No, we didn't miss any.
You got them on the way back?
If we didn't get it on the way over.
Closest.
I got that one. I went without you. So that's actually 14. Yeah.
What?
So the day that you went with Chris and Miriam
to the Mexican restaurant?
Yes.
Okay.
After I was done with Todd, I had about an hour or so.
You had a Buc-ee's
before
break?
They were coming to do the black tank. And so I had to run over to the New Braunfels, Texas Buc-ee's because I just had to. I can't.
I got to keep an eye on him.
I can't be 3 miles down the street from a Buc-ee's and not go to a Buc-ee's. So we did 14 Buc-ee stops. Now I will say that while driving, we ate carnivore bars.
Yes, we didn't order any brisket from them.
We did not buy brisket. We ate carnivore bars.
Yeah.
You would have the your chips. I forget what they're called.
The legendary chips.
Legendary chips. And then what we would do is for dinner, we would whatever Buc-ee's we were closest to when we were getting ready to stop, we would get the what is it? It's not the Texas beef burrito or fajita burrito, I think it is.
Because it's no rice in it.
There's no rice, no beans, nothing. And then we just take it, we unroll it, and we eat all the stuff out with some chips and stuff. So we did really good. We didn't go to McDonald's places. We didn't even eat like gas station hot dogs. Well, that was what we ate.
And I'll tell you, one of the reasons why that RV park sold us is because they fed us sumptuously. It was delicious. We had a wonderful breakfast. They made a brisket that'll like, woof. I mean, it was fantastic.
It was really good.
And they made great chicken. They made great like pulled pork. I mean, fantastic, like, beef for taco bowl. It was like, man.
So we hit the one in Alabama, the new one that's in Mississippi. We hit several in Texas. And I have now come out with a way to save money when we go to Buc-ee's, because in the past, every time we go to a new Buc-ee's, we got to get a mug. Now, the mug generally is only for that state. Once in a while, they'll have one for that one, but usually it's for the state. But I'm running out of room for mugs, so we came up with an idea. They have stickers, and they only cost $1.
We should have thought of this.
And then the stickers we're putting on the side of the RV for every state that we go to that has a Buc-ee's. So we don't have to, so we can just we have Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, and we'll just we'll make a map of Buc-ee's. That's what we're going to do.
That sounds like what sane people do.
Unfortunately, a lot of states don't have Buc-ee's. It's time for them to move along.
Move along.
Christine said, Juliana, hopefully they will honor the sales price in the flyers I went to. Okay, she must be talking about something with beef.
Beef jerky.
John said 14 Buc-ee stops will make you broke by the time you get home. I know.
Especially if you enjoy coordinating all of your outfits with your granddaughters.
Yes. Yeah, but fortunately, I only got one Texas shirt.
The only thing I was really disappointed with is that they had Halloween stuff and they had Christmas stuff and they had no Thanksgiving stuff. And
who cares about Thanksgiving?
I love Thanksgiving, and I also like the colors of Thanksgiving. Like, I like those colors. I don't know if that's my tone, but, like the red and this kind of like mustard yellow and the sage green. And, Donna Jo had decorated her house. And since we still haven't unpacked, I can't unpack, fall stuff. And so I've been living vicariously through her living room and bathroom and all the places that she made so beautiful. But I would leave it year round. I like fall stuff so much.
Chris said we do magnets for trips when we go on a family. It's like $3 to $6. The dad and me likes that range. I like the sticker idea. I came up with it when we were in, I think, Mississippi, and I'm like, they have a sticker.
There's mats.
They have a sticker. We're just gonna go with a sticker.
Yeah, I definitely think that would be a good thing. We gotta organize, Matt, because wouldn't that be good if you guys in the 3D printing world generated a whole bunch of cool stuff that we could pass out at a trunk or treat or something. I think that would be really fun.
Dustin said, fingers crossed Indiana will get a Buc-ee's sooner or later. We're supposed to be getting one about 25 minutes away from us. I'm gonna
nuh-uh, honey. I am going to see, I don't know what kind of employee discount they have, but I'm going to be looking at that place for a job, because especially if you'll take the days that are Friday, Saturday when things would be busy, which I don't mind. Because I've been in, I worked in retail for a long time, and, retail sucks. But what sucks more is if you're slow. I like being busy, and it's $4 more. I mean, you could be cleaning a Buc-ee's bathroom and making $25 an hour. It's crazy.
Janice is here, said, I've been following you two for a year now. You moving to Arcadia is closer to me now. So I'd like to get...
you live in Northport?
Get it down to meet you sometimes.
I would love
absolutely.
that.
I'm in Northport all the time.
Yeah.
And so just send us a message. And I mean, if we are in town, we'd love to. You can meet up for coffee, whatever.
We'd love that.
We have a lot of people in this area. So again, like Sarah G lives here, and then up in the Orlando area, there's a bunch of people.
Claremont, you've got Matt and Sarah Joy. You've got Nancy Tanner. If you have not joined the Central Florida's Ketos, they have a Facebook group. I highly recommend that because it is a fantastic group. Really. We're blessed in Florida.
Matt said we could do a ton of mini figures for next year.
Wouldn't that be fun? That'd be so fun.
Juliana said, no costumes allowed at my school tomorrow. I have a LuLaRoe shirt with Maleficent crows.
Oh, that's cute.
And a Maleficent headband. Guess who is going to
breaking the law? Breaking the law. Chris said, your mom cares about Thanksgiving. Call your mom. I have a praise report, y'all. My mom's house sold. Finally. They were late to the closing. It literally took more than 24 hours for like it to show like, oh yeah, actually we transferred funds and they actually bought the house, or they're not just sleeping there now for free. But praise the Lord, because I mean, it has been stressing my mom out so badly. Like, please keep her in your prayers, because she did go and like test herself and it was showing that her heartbeat, it was back in AFib.
It is stress.
It is stress. It is totally stress. So just please keep her in your prayers. Like, I mean, it's over now, but like, it's just been a lot. It's just been a lot.
Again, if you have any keto questions or carnivore questions, let us know. So long as you don't want to tell us that carnivore is the best and the only way to eat. Chris said, according to random strangers on Reddit, employees of Buc-ee's get no employee discount.
Dang it. Well,
they do pay well.
They do pay very well. And like,
I feel like it's a hard job. I feel like that's which I kind of like working that way anyway.
Again, I don't like to be slow.
Right.
Like, you don't want me coming up with stuff. It was funny because when I worked at Party City, it was like if there was any slow stuff, the manager would come up to the front and be like, holy crap, have she like alphabetized the balloons? Like, what happened? And I'm like, I had time on my hands.
Okay, I'm going to say this since nobody is commenting.
Yes.
Okay, or at least giving us a question, right? Did anybody see Rachel's last, story or reel from last night?
Yeah, the story?
With the story.
It was a little spicy.
Did anybody see the really spicy story?
It wasn't spicy, but it was just
spicy.
Because you do see a lot of people that were like, I don't know, behind closed doors were like, carnivore is better than you kind of suck. And then it's like, but they're coming back.
Right. Now, I just want to say, it wasn't meant to offend anybody.
No.
I mean, but it is kind of funny.
It is
but yeah,
it was like,
she was giggling, laughing when she made it.
And
she's like, what do you think? And I'm like, send it to Chris and see what he thinks. And he's like, accurate.
Because it's basically just the king from Hamilton singing, you'll be back.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's just, again, I think it's really hard. I don't think anybody should ever never say never. Don't paint yourself in a corner and say like, if Joe says I will never have cheese again, I know cheese is inflammatory.
I'll never make that comment.
I can't ever do it. Even there's times that you eliminate certain things. I have eliminated coffee, but like the day y'all see me say coffee is terrible for me, I'm never having a cup of coffee, just know I am going to have to lick my calf over.
I'll give you a perfect one. For years, Rachel said, I'm never going on a cruise.
Hello.
I'm never going on a cruise.
Every single time I say that.
The first low-carb cruise we were supposed to go on, she tried to cancel like a month ahead of time.
Yes.
She was that terrified to go on a cruise.
I was so terrified.
Now look at her.
Yeah.
She wants to live on a cruise ship.
The biggest one is, this is a weird one and definitely TMI, but it's Halloween, y'all, and I'm, wearing, witness protection glasses, but I don't poop on vacation. I do not poop. I just cannot. My body's like, no, it would be inconvenient.
Everybody poops.
You're using a guest toilet. And so I don't poop on vacation. So when we were like, we're going on the low carb cruise for the first time, I just looked at Joe and I was like, well, how many days is it? And he was like, well, it's like 8 days, 7 nights. I'm like, I will die. I will die. I can't go that long without pooping. And I don't poop on vacation. I will die. And it turns out
on a cruise,
like after, you get acclimated, and I guess after a week or so, I'm sort of acclimated, then like you'll poop. Like, it'll happen. Something will happen.
Dustin said, I asked the cashier at 1 in the middle of the night, Buc-ee's, about famous people coming in. I always wonder about that stuff. She named people I'd never heard of.
So that was always the thing of like Waffle House. There was a Waffle House down in Davie that was very close to where a lot of people would, you know, grab something after their show. And so I met a lot of people down there. I'm Alan Jackson, like Pearl Jam, like, I mean, there was Soundgarden.
When I lived in New York and worked in New York City clubs, I used to work in New York City nightclubs when I was in college. And I honestly, it's been over 30 years, right?
Right.
But there was a diner that I would go to at night. It was like a deli kind of diner. I went there. I would actually stop there at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning on my way home because they had the best matzo ball soup ever. I would literally get like 2 quarts of it.
You were a bouncer. If
I was a bouncer and a bartender in New York City nightclub. So I generally worked between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I would go there. I would get like pastrami, corned beef, and then matzo ball soup. But it was very famous for like just celebrities coming in. All the walls were lined with all the celebrities. So pretty much every time you went in there, there was a celebrity there. I did see... Christine said, I love Monday's video where you all ranted and exposed those who leave rude comments on your channel. I'm just over it.
We're showing it now.
It's not just the rude comments. I'm just over people beating up other people because they don't agree with the way they're eating.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, because again, when we went
or they think they're better.
When we went to the rally, we see so many people that are like, they've never even heard about keto. We feel like, you know, you may think, well, keto is like, and all of the glossary of terms that goes with keto, so familiar in your mind's Rolodex that you're like, I can't go back to a time where I don't know all these things, right? They're just, you don't even remember like when you started using almond flour, like when you even first found out that you could use almond flour. Right. You know, and so we've already like got to the point where like, okay, can you give me a recipe without almond flour? Because I've like overused it. But there are people that have never even considered the fact that there's sugar in everything, or that it might be bad, or that they could eat red meat and not die from like heart disease. Right. And so when you meet these people, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I have got to protect the welcome mat of this space, because if it sounds like mom and dad are fighting inside of this house in the back, then like people are going to be afraid to approach.
Absolutely.
And when you think about like some of the ugliness, if you've ever gone into a Facebook group and like dared to ask a question and got blasted by like keto police or carnivore police or like anything, like you're doing it wrong or you're not doing it hard enough, or I don't like what you're doing or whatever. You think about this guy that just texted us today on October 30th, 2025, and is like, you know, you're giving me something to think about. I am going to protect that guy. Like, if you want to see me go like mad dog, come for that guy.
We've already had one rant live stream.
I mean, to tell you though, but like you see, like things are worth protecting. And then put on that, on top of that somebody that maybe previously was a keto or carnivore police, and now they're saying, well, maybe I'd like to incorporate some ingredients, like put them back in because I need to work on my personal health. And you're like, what? You blasted other people and made them feel like really tiny because they were like just keto and didn't like up themselves. And now you're like, well, I'm going to add some stuff back in. What? Like, yes, we're supposed to be like we need to have some common sense and then like exercise that common sense.
I do want to say before, since you just found out that Buc-ee's doesn't give discounts,
I'm blown away.
I've got a better place for you to work.
The Warner Brothers studio store gave 40% off to
I got a better place.
Okay.
You won't care, but I will love it.
Tractor Supply?
No. Harbor Freight. My understanding is that Harbor Freight gives their employees a 50% discount.
That's awesome, but it's so boring. That's a boring.
Not our Harbor Freight. Our Harbor Freight is packed.
You think it'll be hopping in there?
Our Harbor Freight is packed. That's because we're 35, 40 minutes from any other good places. So Matt said, I need prayer for potential career change for me. Have my resume in for emergency management job with a company in Orlando.
What?
Definitely be praying.
Matt, this is freaking awesome, dude.
Dustin said, I've been kidnapped and need help if I'm never having coffee again.
Right, exactly. That is a lie. Like, trace that live stream call.
I did see somebody, I think John said, if I ever hear Rachel say, I will never have coffee again, I'll be wondering, who are you and what did you do with Rachel?
It is like, okay, so since we're on the eve of Halloween here, what is your favorite Halloween movie? And no judgment, because some people like really hokey stuff. Some people like, give me the scariest, I want to pee my pants. Some people like more of a thriller or like a suspense. I mean, I got to get my shoulders into it because, like, Sixth Sense, that kind of thing.
Okay, please take the glasses off.
Some people, no, I feel like there's a whole new persona here.
Okay, Dustin wants to know.
Yes.
Are there banks of restrooms on cruise ships, or do you only have the one? Oh no, there's restrooms all over the place.
There's restrooms like
they're all over the place. They're on all the pool decks, by the theaters, they're all over the place. Well, and some ships have even more than others.
And not unlike a Buc-ee's, like
you could eat off the floor.
I have yet to be in one that isn't look like it just got cleaned.
By the way, for those of you who may be going on a cruise with 2KK for the first time, Trish put up a nice post in Mighty Networks about like what she brings and that kind of stuff.
Thank you for doing that, Trish.
Because she's the expert cruiser. She's my spirit animal.
And I'm telling you, she is so approachable. So don't be afraid. Don't go into a cruise and not know what you should do because you were afraid to reach out to Trish Reed.
So it looks like tomorrow's Bonnie's birthday as well.
Bonnie, ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bonnie. Happy birthday to you and many more. Oh, Keto, Dustin says, are we going to just gloss over the fact that Rachel met Pearl Jam and Soundgarden? That was a big benefit.
She also got to interview Patrick Ewing. Didn't you interview
Charles Barkley, Dikembe Mutombo? I traveled with Lilith Fair for a little bit, so I got to spend a lot of time with Sarah McLachlan, Melissa Etheridge,
tennis,
Serena Williams, Venus. I was at their house. There was a lot of like cool stuff. I met a lot of singers
because she was a reporter. If you didn't know, she was a reporter for the Washington Post and the Sun Sentinel.
I liked working for covering the music scene. And in South Florida, we got a lot that, I was in the 90s covering stuff when it was all about like Mudhoney, The Edge down in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, just total dumps, but were great. Like that coffee house scene. The Red Hot Chili Peppers. The only thing that I regret was an opportunity to be there for Nirvana. And I thought, I will just do it next year. And do not do that thing. Do not put off seeing somebody that you want to see if there's an artist that's your passion. You too. Lots of different people that I was really blessed to meet because I had to cover the concert.
Gloria wants to know, is there any flavor of Keto Chow shake that would be as close to carnivore as possible?
The core.
The core flavors. So, well, honestly, I like Chris's answer when people ask.
Well, even the milk. Well, the milk isolate.
When people say, is Keto Chow carnivore? I like Chris's answer. Do you drink coffee as a carnivore? If the answer is yes, then Keto Chow is pretty close.
Yeah.
So what you're going to have in Keto Chow, okay, that is not carnivore, would be your sweetener, the flavoring, and gum acacia. That's what's in there that's not carnivore, okay? Because if you look with the standard Keto Chow flavors, the standard Keto Chow flavors are a milk protein isolate. Milk is carnivore. If you look at the core flavors, you're going to have beef protein. Beef is carnivore. So what is the difference between the two? You're going to have the milk protein isolate flavors are going to use sucralose, which is technically an artificial sweetener, but it has very, very little. And then the beef flavors are going to use stevia or none at all. So if you want the absolute closest to carnivore, it would be a core flavor with no sweetener at all. And then you have a little bit of gum acacia, which is actually a very healthy fiber that's good for your gut biome. So it's kind of up to you. Is it perfect carnivore? No. But again, I like Chris's answer is if you are willing to drink coffee on carnivore, then
you drink a keto chow.
Then keto chow is just as carnivore as you eating beef and drinking coffee. You know, I would even say go so far as if you're adding spices
to a chili
to your meat on carnivore, anything other than salt. If you're adding pepper, garlic, basil, oregano, any of that kind of stuff, then you're fine.
And I wouldn't deny myself something to fit in the rules.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, if you would have garlic, like, you know what I mean? Like you're marinating a steak.
And I'm going to have to say this just again, carnivore is not the end all and be all. I'm not knocking carnivores.
It's just a label.
I'm just saying it is not the end all and be all. It is not. Anybody who tells you carnivore is the absolute best way to eat and the only way to eat is mistaken. Okay, there is no human civilization that has ever existed on the face of the earth that only ate carnivore. We are opportunistic eaters.
I don't want to get any more cannibal comments.
Your body can survive on either.
You got to stop saying that.
Your body can survive on either meat or vegetables. That's how it was designed. In the absence of meat, you can eat vegetables. In the absence of vegetables, you can eat meat. We are designed to eat mostly meat. That's how our system is. That's where you're going to get all of your vitamins and nutrients. It's not available and amino acids that is not available in plants. You can eat less and get more nutrients eating meat. But I think ultimately, as Rachel's little joke story on Instagram, I think for the most part, everybody comes back. You are seeing more and more people, without calling out names, like big name people in the carnivore and keto space.
More than a decade.
That are going from carnivore and beginning to incorporate a few carbs in.
They got us through a season of life where they need to make a pivot of some sort, but they feel like they can't, because what we should have done from the get-go is just to make it easy. Are you fat fueled or are you carbohydrate fueled? That's the bottom line. Is your body recognizing, hey, I run on fat or I run on carbohydrates?
Right.
That's just it. And how many or how little carbohydrates that you are incorporating is going to tip the scale. Right. So if you are somebody that's like, and you can confuse yourself, right? So if you are fat fueled, but you are eating more carbohydrates than you're eating the meat, you may in your mind say, well, I feel like I'm a meat eater, but your body is like, hey, we're running on carbs.
Right. And again, not knocking carnivore.
Not at all.
I think it's good for people in seasons, but I think long-term, especially for women, carnivore is not, it should not be your permanent lifestyle as a woman, especially.
I just don't want you to imprison yourself up here. Right. And if your lab work says, I need to maybe try something and just see, you can't do that thing because you're like, this is how I identify, right? Like if it's your identity and not something you do, then it's really hard for you to untangle that because you have to go through an identity crisis in order to try something different, right?
Sean said the year I went to Italy in the Navy, we ate MREs for 30 days straight. We didn't poop for like 10 days. We have I can't get to it. You have to
scroll up.
Let me see if I can scroll down. Where is it?
Oh, there it is. Thank
Gloria, thank you very much for the $9.99 super chat.
Gloria.
I have like the screen enlarged and it won't let me unenlarge it.
I love that song.
Sean said my yearly tradition is to watch Disney's Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I love that cartoon. My favorite horror movie is Zombieland. We actually watched Zombieland the other night.
We need to watch two. We watched one, but it's funny.
Dustin said we watched Scream today and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We also watched John Wick last night.
I love John Wick.
Wick's one of my favorite series. I have them all.
Absolutely. I can't wait. They're making another one.
Yes.
Super excited. And God bless Keanu Reeves, right? Because, and I didn't even think about it, because I got to tell you, he's one of those guys that just doesn't seem to age. And so when I'm reading the stuff about how he was a little bit hesitant about coming back to the series and like making another movie, he's like, my knees are hurting. Like, this is a lot on my body. And I was like, so what? You're like 30 years old. Why are you complaining? And then I look and I think he's like 60. I think he's like 60. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's like over 60. So I was like, oh my gosh. No wonder you're like, well, maybe I don't want to do this. There's so much action and kicking and falling in that movie.
Chris said, I prefer towing police over keto police, using too small a truck for a too large trailer. Yes. So
if you're
into RVing, if you go into any Facebook groups, we have what's called the towing police. And that's when somebody comes in and goes, can I tow this RV with this truck?
With a Ranger.
And then all of a sudden you get what we call the towing police. And it's people who just jump in. You can only use this. I was in one last night. Somebody was asking, they're interested in buying the Alliance Avenue 30BH, which is what we have. And they said they have a 2024 F-250 diesel, which is what we have. And they're like, I want to know if I can tow it. And there were people who said, you should not be towing any fifth wheel without anything other than a dually. And I'm like, no. It goes by what is the towing capacity of the truck, and more importantly, what is the cargo capacity of your truck? Is your truck rated to legally and safely tow that RV? The pin weight of my RV, and I am fully loaded. Like, you can't put anything else in ours because I have 600 pounds of batteries and solar added
to it.
And Buc-ee's closed. So I'm at 2,400 pounds being transferred into my truck. Well, my truck allows me to put 3,100 pounds in the truck, including our weight. Fortunately, we weigh a lot less than we used to.
Yeah.
Okay. His truck, he has the same truck. So he can absolutely legally and safely tow it, and people just beating on. So I agree with Chris. I would rather deal with keto police, the towing police, over the keto police, because as nasty as they are, keto police are worse.
Well, we're not towing police, but I will say that there was a couple of times where we were like passing, and so the truck that's towing an RV is going past us. And it's like,
oh yeah, there's absolutely idiots out there.
The truck is like almost in the air with its front tires, and the back of the RV is like, and I'm like, and I look and I go, Joe, that's not right. Am I looking at that right?
That's why when people ask me, I'm like, I'm going to tell you what you can. I'm going to tell you how to figure out if you can legally and safely do it. I'm not going to tell you whether you should do it or you shouldn't.
Are your feet on the ground still?
You know, I mean, it really comes down to. Because here's the thing, just like companies would, I don't know why we're talking about this.
We need to move on.
Just like companies, food label companies, they make up things and they put things on a label like this is 0 carbs, but it's really 1 carb.
Right.
Or, you know, the bigger thing is where they round down the serving size.
Right.
Like this is 1.45 servings. No, it's not, right? I'm sorry, pork and good. I love you. A bag of pork rinds is one serving. Okay, and the big bag is maybe 2. It's not 3 servings in that little tiny bag. Sorry, why do they do that? So they can tell you it's only 80 calories.
Same for the macadamia nut canister at Costco. 1 serving, according to Rachel.
So trucks will come up with this thing and they'll be like, this has a 15,000 pound towing capacity.
Right.
All that means is it can actually tow a trailer from point A to point B without burning up the engine. It doesn't mean it can tow it uphill. It doesn't mean it can easily stop it. And it doesn't mean that the bed can hold the weight.
There's always lying in marketing.
It just means that the engine can do it. And most trucks,
right,
especially like the quarter tons and the half tons, like F-150s and things like that, they cannot tow what people think. They're like, well, my truck has a towing capacity of 12,950 pounds. Yeah, but your bed's only allowed to have 1,000 pounds in it. So no, you can't.
Well, you know,
you're going to blow up like
there's always like some sort of a salesperson that's like, they just want to make the sale to the point where they're just like, absolutely your Tesla could tow this fifth wheel. Absolutely. You're just going to put the thing right on the very top of the head of that thing. And yes.
Okay, enough about towing. Sean said, I'm jealous of mathematicians. They never get constipated. They always work things out with a pencil.
Oh, Sean got that one. That's hilarious.
Jennifer said, I can't go back to the constant extreme pain, but my meds are different types than yours.
Exactly.
I saw another one. Jody said, I've consumed so much content about low carb, possibly too much, yet the one thing I always hear in my head is Joe saying 90% is good enough, and that was my game changer. I now give myself grace.
High five. I love that.
Nobody's perfect.
Jody. Nobody is perfect.
There's been one perfect person who's ever walked this earth. Anybody else who says they're perfect in anything in their life, they're
just lying.
I'm gonna be nice.
The imperfection is self-righteousness.
Right. They're self-righteous. Like I'll give you a million words. Most of them probably aren't very nice.
Christine said, my husband is retired military and loves Harbor Freight. I should tell him about the discount. We do buy a lot of stuff from
Apple does those kind of deals. Hard to get a job there.
Why are you not working there, friend?
Because I don't look like you. I'm not willing to dress like that.
They'll put you in some department. It's so funny. I don't know if you've ever gone to the Apple store because you have some product, but they absolutely choose the person that is going to engage with you at the Apple store based on your preferences. And so like if you have certain music in your playlist, if you're a certain age years old, you are absolutely getting somebody that they think is like, would choose the same things that you would choose. I'm sorry, but they're absolutely doing that. And so I remember the last time that we went and I saw this cool kid that just looked like a bike messenger in New York City. And I thought, oh man, I am that youth on the inside. Like if they could see, like I'm that person, like, come on, head over here because I am young and I have taken back my health. And lo and behold, dad comes over, like totally, like completely me and Joe mixed together as a person, heads over. And I was like, crap, we're old. And it's showing in our music list. They're looking at our, like the movies that we have selected. And they're like, this woman wants to be served by someone who also likes ABBA.
Storm Chasing Girl wants to know where you got the glasses. Amazon, right?
Amazon. So, our grandbabies, like the whole family, John Paul and them, we went to a trick or treat, or I did, and then you had to stay home, so we didn't get to use Joe's costume. But they were doing all things from like Super Mario. So, Peyton was Princess Peach. Michelle was Daisy. John Paul was Mario. I was Yoshi. You were supposed to be Bowser, and the baby was Toad.
Yeah.
It was really cute.
Look at Chris's comment. That's why I was laughing.
We watched Scream today?
No.
Favorite Halloween movie? Die Hard. It's a Christmas movie.
Miriam likes your glasses.
Thank you, Sam.
Sam likes your glasses.
Thank you. Hi, Sam. I miss you. I miss your face. I miss Max's face also.
Rush was talking about the Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin. Yeah, it's on Apple TV right now.
Yes, don't miss it.
Let's see.
John said, I'm ketovore because I like keto chow. Exactly. Don't miss out. Keto chow is so awesome. Don't be like, I can't have it.
Chris said, let's see. We got Joe going off on this carnivore. Distraction time. Hey, 2 crazy ketos. How many carbs are in heavy cream?
None. 0. Depending on which brand that you buy.
Well, it's a minimum of 0.413 carbs per tablespoon.
No, that's a lie. If I put it into my Fitness Pal, 1 tablespoon at a time, it's 0.
Dustin said, I support however someone needs to eat when they have found their ease of consistency and satiety. And that is the thing. What is the best form of the proper human diet? The one that is sustainable. That is it.
Yes.
The best form of the proper human diet is the one that is sustainable for you.
Yes.
Carnivore is not sustainable for me. I can sustain it in short stints.
If you make it too hard and too complicated, and I feel like if I have a piece of asparagus cross my lips, I'm a jerk, then guess what's going to happen? It's going to be hardcore, and then it's going to be bag of Halloween candy for me. So like, do you want to send me down the bag of Halloween candy? And like, that is now I go back to being sick and inflamed and like not able to leave my bedroom. Like, I don't want to go back there.
Can y'all stop talking about keto chow pumpkin sausage soup? Because now I want it.
We have none. We ate it all.
You ate it all. I didn't get any. I got a spoon of it.
Brother, you got some.
I got a spoon.
You got technically
Sarah
some.
said it was half for you and half for me.
I don't remember her saying that.
And it was gone.
It was, my serving was on the bottom of the container, so I had to eat through yours to get to my serving.
Raj said, king of the hair, not one gray hair. I don't have any gray hair.
You don't have any hair. That was funny when the guy from Tank Rangers was talking about like the hair being in the thing, but like it's not a problem for you. And you're like, it's not a problem for me either.
Chris said, pin weight of my RV, 3,800 pounds. That leaves 1,720 pounds of capacity.
Which is why I can still ride in the truck while he's towing. I've got some room left.
Ray says that I used to watch Rocky Horror every Halloween. I've seen it too much, I think. Used to go to see it every night when I was a teenager. When we were in New Braunfels, it was actually playing in the theater.
I used to go to Rocky Horror Picture Show. I can remember my mom like helping me get dressed because it didn't even start at our local Cinnamon and Draft House until like 12:30 at night. And of course my mom was driving me over and she was like helping me get dressed. And it's like, and I can remember saying, I cannot believe I am helping you find fishnet stockings. Rocky Horror Picture
Chris
Show.
said, I can't believe I successfully squirreled Joe away from Carnivore Police discussion. I'm winning.
You are winning.
Let's see. Storm Chaser said, put your tree up.
That's coming immediately after.
Healthy Mama said, has anyone experienced aggravated seborrheic dermatitis because of egg whites in particular? So,
hi, Marie.
Egg allergies are usually a childhood disease. I think that more adults can sometimes have an egg white allergy. It does sometimes come out in like a dermatitis kind of thing. I'm curious, are you eating like a lot of like the Maria Emmerich egg white bread? Because that's one of the things that like where people were starting to get sensitivity to egg whites.
I met some coaches.
Is because they were just doing so many. If you eat like a half a loaf of that bread, you're eating like 30 egg whites.
Right. We've met some coaches that are in like the weightlifting space that actually had to stop it themselves because they work themselves up into like a problem.
I should probably mention this. You need to make a post about it. But just in case anybody's interested. So our favorite cookware, which is Caraway Cookware, started their Black Friday sale today.
They're a little early.
It's 20% off.
Okay. We will accept it.
Okay. So everything on the website's on sale.
Okay.
Here's the coolest part. You can tack our discount link. If you use this link right here.
Oh, you stack it?
You get an additional discount.
I like that.
And I think the discount is now 15% instead of 10%.
Are they getting rid of any colors? Because you know how we love, my favorite color is clearance color. So I'm always cruising to see like, what is the color they're retiring so that I can buy that thing? We did the same thing with Le Creuset. They're like, you know, what color are you collecting? And it's like none.
Yeah, but I can't do that because I have everything I have right now from them is black and gold, and like it would be weird.
Now, are you becoming
just what my Caraway cookware?
Are you becoming a matchy person?
Just on that, nothing else in our house matches.
Wow. I mean, you've been cooking with a pink Dutch oven.
I know.
I haven't said anything about it, but
that's different. I mean, listen,
a yellow stock pot.
You want to know, like, when you know it's not real, like we've been replaced by like something from another world, like an alien. The day that you ever look at our bed and we have a pillowcase that matches the sheets.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it'll ever happen. We literally buy new sheets and the pillowcases still don't match the sheets.
I gotta say, we were watching Dustin's live. And you should have seen me, Dustin. It was kind of funny because we're driving and you were talking about like laundry. And I had said that I don't like folding sheets. And you were like, well, how hard is that? Like, and you said we don't use a top sheet. And Joe looked at me.
I did not use a top sheet before I met Rachel. And like, I have fought it for 17 years.
And so he's fought it. So he looks at me like, you love Dustin and Chandra. You think that they're freaking amazing. And he's right about this. We should not be using a top sheet. And I'm like, oh no, I've got like lots more hours driving in the car with this man who's
and grape.
And grape.
And grape.
So, but like, yeah, so we use a top sheet, but it's rarely matching. It's rarely
the top
matching.
sheet most of the time doesn't match the bottom sheet, which doesn't match the pillowcases, and none of it matches the comforter.
And Joe's.
So if you ever see a match, it's either a company gave it to us for a video, which is never happening, or our bodies have been replaced by aliens.
Yes.
Just saying.
Or it was just Christmas and we got some new sheets and like that's the last time. That's the inaugural trip for that bed.
I mean, the bottom line is I have what I call my holding pillow.
Okay, can we talk about the pillowcase on that nasty
So I have
relic?
a holding pillow. My holding pillow is more than 15 years old, and Rachel is not allowed to get it because
it's this thin.
Because you have to like roll it up in 3 ways so that you can hold it.
It's a front roll up.
Especially after you lost weight, I don't have anything to hold on. I have to put a pillow around you to hug on you, to spoon on you. I have to put a pillow on because there's nothing there, right?
No more cushion.
So my holding pillow, the way I know it's my holding pillow and not one of the other pillows,
is disgusting,
is that it has a pillowcase from when the kids were little.
It's got a Transformers pillowcase on it. And when I wash that pillowcase, there is a replacement Transformers pillowcase because that's the one that fits it perfectly.
Yes.
So you know
because it's the only standard size pillowcase in the house.
So you know, like if you go to a conference and you just see a random purse sitting there, but it's like a weirdo Loungefly purse, you know it's Rachel's purse. Like you know it's my purse because I don't have like classy purses. I have purses that are Disney or some sort of cartoon, right? Or it's Sesame Street right now as my current purse. So if you see a Transformers pancake, you know, oh, Joe dropped his pillow.
Okay, a couple more before we get off. Jody said you must have a top sheet. It's what keeps the monsters in the summer.
That is exactly right. Trish said sheets, pillowcases, quilts, shams, all must match for me to sleep in that bed. Possibly a little OCD. You know what? I'd rather be at your house than over like at my house if we don't have a top sheet because the comforter, I don't know. I need a barrier. Like, what if you sweat or something?
Dustin said, Chandra and I have our own blankets. Winter is coming, which means I'll lose my blanket more.
Aw.
Yes, Christine said those are the best pillows. My toddler took one of my old pillows and refuses to give it back. I mean, this pillow is more than 15 years old. It's literally a sheet of paper, but it folds up perfectly and you can hold it. And so
just rolls it up like a fruit roll-up.
John said I had my first red, white, and Bam salty. So good, and the mystery flavor is pretty good too.
Andy said it's doggy blanket and our wedding quilt goes on top of our bed. What do we think before we get off? What do we think about all of those like the couch blankets? I really like those. And I like the fact that that's a holiday thing where I can kind of decorate for the holidays and be cozy without having a ton of crap out for the holidays. Because I'm going to try to minimize, holiday stuff. But I do like having the sofa blanket. And I do, when I don't...
Chris put up a video on how to fold sheets.
Oh, I need that lesson. It's not just like rage punching it until it gets smaller. That's my current way of folding it. But it's something that I buy for Christmas gifts and things too, because I feel like either that or pajamas I get people. But then sometimes that's too personal. I know. But sometimes that's too personal. I don't, somebody may not be like, why are you buying me pajamas? Ew, weirdo. But like, I just think it's cozy. I want people to know I want them to be cozy.
Right.
So a lot of times I'll get like a blanket, but one of those. But do you guys like those kind of things or no?
Okay, we're going to get off. Nancy did say non-scale victory. My non-keto husband loved the 2KK yogurt.
Yay!
That is awesome. Okay, we are going to get off again. We have a video that I have to go finish editing.
Yes.
That will be coming out sometime tomorrow. Super
Mañana.
excited. Followed by a recipe video to go with that one, which will come out next week, which I'm also extremely excited about. What else going on? Halloween.
Halloween.
Right.
So I hope you have a fantastic Halloween.
We'll be back live on Monday.
Yep.
At 10 a.m. Eastern for Keto Beyond the Couch. We'll be live here. And then next Thursday, we will be live. We'll be live from Orlando in our RV.
Beautiful Orlando,
because
Florida.
We're going to be babysitting our grandbabies for a few days.
2 babies in an RV.
In an RV. This will be interesting. And then also next weekend is the Central Florida's Keto Meetup.
Yay!
So
super excited for that.
And I'll be in Disney World.
Yes, you will.
With my 3-year-old. And I need another loan. Like, so can y'all like front me some money? Because I'm taking a 3-year-old.
Disney gift cards?
I'm taking a 3-year-old to Disney World without my wife. And I was going to do something super secret until I found out how much it costs.
Oh, I hope you're not gonna bibbity bobbity boo that kid. No, yeah. Don't.
Not
no.
for $450.
No.
I'm not.
No.
Not for $450.
Bibbity bobbity boo. We ain't doing that. Have a great night, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
We love you.